You address me.
How's it going, YouTube? So this is Slide 8 right here with a live commentary of the Brood War campaign. Yeah, Starcraft Brood War, the expansion set to Starcraft. So popular that
destroy these Nidus canals so as to stem the flow of Zerg reinforcements to them.
it's such a big game that it's played in tournaments professionally by the Koreans, and it's broadcasted live all over the world for people to watch on GOM TV. So it's like, wow, it's quite a big deal. It's kind of funny to say that, though, because there's a lot of people who still have never played StarCraft, despite the fact that StarCraft really changed the identity of the gaming world by having all those professional leagues, professional tournaments that didn't exist prior to this game ever being released.
Your orders, Templar.
I'm not going to go over the storyline of the original StarCraft, as that would take too long. But, I mean, if you watched my videos, you may have already gotten the gist of it, hopefully. I didn't really explain it, though, because I didn't add commentary to those videos. But, hopefully you understand what was going on. I'll just tell you how we got to here. At the end of the whole entire story of the original StarCraft, Tassadar sacrificed himself to kill the Zerg Overminds. So the Overmind no longer have a host controlling them. So the Zerg no longer has a host controlling them. But
there is no time to waste. We must join our brethren in battle.
But despite that, the Zerg are still fighting against us. And that's because they're running rampant, they're running wild because they have no host controlling them. So, they're fighting us without any control, without any restraint, without any thought or anything. They have no host guiding their way, which may have made things worse for the Protoss, as their homeworld is still ravaged by the devastation the Zerg have caused when they first invaded it. But the Protoss would like there to still be hope. Zeratul is leading the way. He's a hero. He's a Dark Templar type hero. One of the strongest heroes in the game. 400 shields, 60 hit points, 0 armor, 100 damage. And to go with that, since he's a Dark Templar, he's permanently cloaked. That is one of the most powerful heroes in the whole game. I've looked up the stats of all of them, and he's one of the strongest. He's not the strongest, but he's up there. I'm sure the Zealot and the Dragoon probably don't need any explaining. Basic units for the Protoss. But despite being basic units, they're both very strong.
I do this for Auir.
Dark Templar were available in certain missions in the original StarCraft. Well, I'm playing this really bad. I don't understand why I'm doing this. But you couldn't actually build Dark Templar in the original StarCraft. In Brood War, not only are there new campaigns, new storylines, but each race gets new units. The Terran, they get medics and Valkyries add to their tech tree, which I'll explain those later, as I'm playing the Protoss campaign and I don't really need to explain those.
I do this for Auir.
The Zerg gain the Lurker and the Devourer. They sound pretty dangerous, and well, they are. At least the Lurker is.
It is good to see more of our brethren on the battlefield.
And as for the Protoss, yes, Dark Templar were available at some missions in the original Starcraft, but in Brood War you can actually build Dark Templar now. And that can come in handy in some situations, since they're always permanently cloaked. The Protoss also gain a unit called the Corsair, which I'll explain on that later when that unit becomes available later in the campaign. So what's going on here is that Zeratul is leading a force of Protoss and some that were stranded, which include a lot of the units I just found here, across this dangerous Zerg-infested area. Hold on.
Zeratul. This is all that remains of our forces in this province. We have found the location of the warp gate, but there is a sizable Zerg force blocking the way.
And yeah, he mentioned the warp gate. That's the goal of this mission, is we're trying to bring these forces all the way to the warp gate that is being guarded by a lightly defended Protoss base right now. Pretty self-explanatory, but if you're brand new to this game, I guess I'll tell you. The Protoss are the power race. They have the strongest units you can get, pretty much. The Terran are in between. They have a lot of strong units and a lot of inexpensive units as well. And the Zerg are a numbers race. They can outnumber enemies very easily. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little more careful with Zeratul. The Archon is made from combining two High Templar together. It's an extremely powerful unit. The reason why I'm not combining the two High Templar together, though, is because I want to use the High Templar's Side Storm. What a lot of very good players do in StarCraft 1 and 2 is that they'll let all their High Templar remain as High Templar just to use Side Storm, because it's a very powerful spell. I'm going to recharge Zeratul's shields. I think I should have done this a long time ago. What I did right there is I clicked the shield, I right-click on it, and then it will charge my shields. It's a shield battery. Then I held Shift and right-clicked here, so that'd be the next thing he does after he recharges shields. Those are just basic things I want to say for those of you who might never have played this game before or have even played an RTS before. As for the rest of my videos, I'm not really be giving such basic tips at all, because I'm expecting the majority of people to watch my videos to be people who have experience at StarCraft and might just need a little help with better playing the game, not basic tips. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you, I actually find the whole campaign of StarCraft and Brood War to be not difficult at all. It's not a hard campaign. So I'm pretty sure I can help those of you who may find it difficult. at some missions. As I wanted to go elaborate more on the strategy of making sure your High Templar remain High Templar, it's so you can keep using Psystorm. And if their energy gets too low, then merge them together and turn them into an Archon. Because if the energy to use the Psystorm is not there, then they're useless. So at that point, you might as well turn them into an Archon. That's what a lot of good players will do. They'll use the High Templar's spells, and then they'll wait until they don't have enough energy to use their spells, so that they can turn them into an Archon.
Executor,
And they can
I
fight.
located the warp gate. We must hurry and evacuate the colonized survivors before the Zerg return. Your orders.
So that they become an Archon and they can fight, because Archons are the strongest ground unit the Protoss have to offer. Not the strongest unit, just the strongest ground unit.
Through the gate, Executor. Phoenix and I will hang back and protect our flank until everyone is through.
I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. There'll be more to come soon.